Okay, so we're doing equations that contain the denominator either has a fraction, well, technically the whole part has a fraction. You had some of these on your work last week, but we never officially taught them. Even though you are supposed to do reverse order of operations, and typically when we've been doing the equations, we add or subtract first, then we multiply or divide, you have to multiply first to get this fraction gone. You can't have this denominator here. So the C plus 40, the entire quantity, is being divided by -7. So that's why you have to get rid of the fraction. It's the whole thing. You multiply both sides by whatever's in the denominator, meaning the left side of the equation and the right side. That will eliminate the fraction. So then you have just C plus 40, because all that happens is basically you'll draw the line to cancel it there, and then you subtract 40 from both sides. So a little different than what we're used to. We're used to, like I said, doing addition and subtraction first, then multiplying or dividing. But when you have a fraction like this, be careful with your check. You have to understand that this is like a quantity. You cannot, in your calculators, look what will happen. You cannot do -5 plus 40 divided by -7. Oh, you can't really see that. There. If you do that, guess what your calculator is going to do first? It'll do 40, it'll do the division first. It'll do 40 divided by -7, and it'll give you that for your answer.
Cool.
Because it does that, it does the 40 divided by -7 first, and then it adds whatever it got to -5. So either do -5 plus 40 equals, then divided by -7, or you can use the parenthesis keys, which are right here. But I think that's more work, because that's an extra button when you could just hit equals. So if you do that divided by -7, that will give you your answer.
Ms. Burkhalter,
Yes, ma'am.
don't forget to send work down to ISD, please.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So that is that one. And then example 2, same thing. You multiply by 5 on both sides, which would give you a -25. You subtract 11 from both sides. Now in this case, there's a coefficient on the variable, so you still have to divide by 4 on both sides. So same thing with the check, just be careful. And that said -5 equals -5, but it cut off. Now it doesn't matter if this side has the fraction, because some of your work for today, it'll equal a fraction. You still do it the same way. So let's do some practice problems. What are we going to do first?
Times 2.
Yes, multiply by 2 on both sides. And again, what happens is it makes it cancel. It gets rid of it because 2, it's like a 2 over 1, and that's the 2. So that cancels. You bring down z minus 9 equals 14, and then you just add. Excuse me? Did you have a question? Oh, okay. And what does this equal? 23. So you can either put it in parentheses to check. 23 minus 9
14.
equals 7. 7 equals 7. And you can do that part. You don't have to show every step. I just do, because I'm the teacher. The next one, you multiply by 6 on both sides, which makes it cancel. So now we have 4n minus 2 equals 30. Now what's our next step? You add 2 to both sides. Remember, whatever you do on the... You can't touch the variable term until the end. So that cancels. You bring down your 4n equals 32. Now what do we do? Divide by 4. So n equals 8. So to check, you just replace the variable. It should equal 5. So 32 minus 2 divided by 6. 30 divided by 6. And it does. 5 equals 5.
Where'd you get the 30?
32 minus 2.
Oh, 5 times. Oh, you said multiply by both sides.
Right, here's the 30. 5 times 6. Is that the 30 you're talking about? Yes, 5 times 6 because you multiply by 6 on both sides. Any questions so far? Okay. Now what do we do? How do we start this one? Times 4. Because again, this is really what you're doing. You're multiplying by 4 over 1, which makes it cancel. You're not multiplying the whole numerator by 4. It makes the fraction go away. Don't forget to multiply the other side. Some people just drop the denominator and forget to multiply this side by whatever the denominator is. You have to do that part or your answer will not work. You would discover that when you go to do your check, though. So 2b equals 46. Divide both sides by 2, and b equals 23. So 2 times 23 plus 2 divided by 4 should equal 12. Always go back to your original equation. Always go back to the original. So 46 plus 2 divided by 4, and 48 divided by 4 is 12, if I have enough room. 12 equals 12. Once I pass out your work, I'm going to do one more example with you, because there's one with a fraction. All right, I'm going to do number 9 with you just because there's a fraction. There was not one like that in your notes. The variable term is second, so we will do number 9 together as practice. So what do we do first in number 9? Multiply by 12 on both sides. So you bring down 15 minus 6t equals 9.
Ew.
There it goes. Wait.
All you do is simplify it, like 12 over 1 to simplify it. So it's 3 times 3.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's what I did in my head. 12 over 1. This is terrible. It won't focus. Oh, goodness. It's going to give me a headache. Oh, there we go. All right. That's what I did in my head. I thought of it as 12 over 1, and then I thought of 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 3 times 3 is 9. Now what do we do?
Minus 15.
You have to subtract 15. The 15 is positive. The negative 6t is what the subtraction goes to. That's the negative. So we have to move a positive 15 by subtracting it on both sides. That makes it cancel. Now make sure you bring down the negative. Again, if you get the wrong answer somehow, try the opposite sign. That's usually, that will fix it most of the time. And then 9 minus 15 is also negative 6. Divide both sides by the coefficient of the variable, and what will t equal?
1.
1. Yes. If I were you, I would go through, well, I think you guys have a pretty good grasp on this. I was going to say go through and do them first and then just run through and check them on your calculator. Nobody needs homework on Halloween.